Basically, there is nothing like good students. There are only students. There's no good or bad students. At some point of time, they may look like good students, like they are interested. So other students also can get there if they put in the effort. Let me say, in a classroom, there are people at different levels of interest, and sometimes you cannot slow down for everybody. So you meet the average. But then sometimes you do see some students are very, very good. They're way ahead of the rest. Then I will always give them some extra project. Nobody else knows it, and they can do that. That is challenging for them. Apart from that, there is nothing for as a teacher. There is no good student. There is nothing special. All students are equal, and we see their struggle. Learning every time in first time, it's a struggle. Whether you're swimming or anything. So there is, for me, everyone's the same. So sometimes there are naughty students have come and said, look, we are naughty, did you hate us or something? No. Students are students, and we are just looking at how they learn. That is the fun part. When they understand and when they struggle and if we can help, that's the fun part. I met a good teacher and she made math easy for me. It never became hard again. It's like once you learn to swim or once you learn to drive, you know it. The struggle is before the learning. Once it has become easy, it will never become hard because the key you figured it out. What are the keys to learning math? Is all the steps have to be there. So you realize it was not your mistake if you didn't understand because the steps were not there. So now you start looking for those steps. Look, you're not thinking that I am not smart, I didn't understand. So I didn't understand those steps, I have to go look for it. That's the only difference. Anything he learns, like new, he was way ahead of everybody else in technology. So whenever he learns something, he'll go and tell everybody. Like he'll have students and all, gather everybody and teach them that. Paul, for example, nobody else had learned, and he had learned and he taught them. And immediately, as soon as he teaches them, they'll all run back to the lab and start doing. Similarly, like still like a graduate student, no? That time he taught some teachers. So they were so happy. They wanted to buy me a sari and stuff like that. Very happy about his teacher. But then he went to America and then he went to corporate world, right? So then that academic break happened. Then he came back to India and he started teaching like that. Yeah. But he was very fond of students, he wants them to do well. So if I go to his student house, they're very happy to meet Moshe because he actually not just teaches in the classroom, and he go after them in their life and are you doing okay, they have trouble and job or everything he'll help. So that is how he teaches. Yeah. I am only based on my math. So mine is like my teaching is different. Mine is how I was taught in America, right? We are the classroom and we are teaching our the job that we are given, the math stuff. But that is where my heart is also like the math stuff. I mean, because you are teaching, you have to learn very perfectly. If you are learning for yourself, you can skip something because you don't know what questions can come. And when I first started teaching, that was my worry. I was thinking that they will ask questions that I won't be able to answer. But it never happened because I was that prepared. But some people say maybe you didn't have that much smarter students or something. But it never happened to me that I couldn't answer a question, really. And even if sometimes I'm stuck, it is because of some small thing. Not that I'm not prepared for the topic. Because students out there really don't know as much. You're way beyond, as a teacher, you're way beyond that. Like they teach us in America all these things, right? Like somebody lifts up your hand, they are showing some confidence, right? And they give a wrong answer. You don't say, yeah, that's wrong. You just say, oh, maybe that's correct, I'll think about it. You say like that. So like once, what happened, one student came to me and I was like a teaching assistant at that time. So he is coming there and he wants me to solve something for him. And I know one method, I'm teaching him that. He said, no, I want this method. Well, I don't know that method and there's not enough time. He has to go for an exam in 2 minutes. He wants that method only. And I said, I can't do that, no? So then, what happened? Then I couldn't explain to him. He was so upset, he didn't talk to me for a semester. So that way they are very sensitive. Students, academics is very sensitive. If somebody is doing very well in life, in math or in any academic, it's because there are so many nice people rooting for them. You're doing well, you're doing great, yeah, great, your marks are doing good. That is how they, because very sensitive field. People just think like, it's not like a pushy kind of thing. So, like, I tell Marsh, sometimes people say you have to make yourself known, announce, I am great, this. It's never like that, It's like people are asking you, come, like that. It's a place where they invite you and you're hesitant to go and they're giving you space. You can't push your way through it. It's a very sensitive thing. academics. Even in India, it's like that. Very loving. Teachers are sometimes very, very loving. Like, for example, when I was in Manipal, and we are taught, like, I came from America, we should come first, number one, right? So when the students went from here, they made a car, like, first time. And they took it and showed, and they couldn't run properly or something initially, right? The teacher said, no problem, like, at least you tried and this is good. They're not enslaved or anything. They know their place and they know how to behave so that they get the best out of everything. I was very impressed with that. Anyway, I'm very impressed with the young people of India. That was the biggest promise, I was very impressed. They have many advantages compared to the rest of the world. They have a very loving family most of the time. Okay, they have parents who are not going to divorce. They have grandparents loving them, uncles, aunties, neighbors. At least there's generations now, but maybe it's changing now with more and more nuclear families and things are changing. But at least like when I met these students, they came from very happy families. Their parents are doing puja for them or whatever. Yeah? They have that advantage, family advantage, love advantage, which a lot of people in the world don't get that. Food advantage, and they're pampered, in general. And a lot of people have it. So that way, they come from that kind of background, very secure people. Plus, they are very aware of what is happening in the world, how much competition is there, where to help, where not to help, where to step back. Give them any work, right? So I taught the same course, the same way in so many different countries, like Africa, America, and India.